William Mark said that the team's going to respond. How had they responded in practice?
Yeah, I thought they did some good things. I think we came out with the right mentality and mindset. At the end of the day, it's never going to be perfect on a Tuesday. Guys are still getting back from being a little nicked up, but I thought the guys' mentality, for the most part, the execution was there for what we're trying to get done this week.
In the passing game, has I know the execution always isn't there on Saturday. Has the execution been there throughout the weeks?
Yeah, I think we throw and catch it a little bit better during the week of practice than we end up doing on Saturday, and can't really always point to why, for one reason or another. It's just overall, execution, pitching, catching, running the right route at the right depth, and just, making some throws and being in the right timing and rhythm and making the right decision. I think we've made the right decisions for the most part on Saturday. We just, at the end of the day, we have to make those throws and make those catches.
Did you ever go through that as a quarterback where just wasn't hitting right?
Yeah, I think you go through some things as a player at any time, and you lose it a little bit, or just maybe it's just not in the game hitting. And I think it's just going to hopefully take some time. Maybe it just takes a play. Maybe it takes a game for us to click. It needs to click. We want it to click. We're working on it to click, and at the end of the day, it just hasn't quite yet. And there's been moments, but hopefully here soon, one of those games or one of those moments or one of those plays allows us to start to click on all cylinders.
Liam, 21, you've talked about. I think it was that LSU game. It was week 6 when it finally started to click for them.
Yeah.
What happened to make it click that year, and can you see signs of things?
Yeah, I think you saw some of it against Florida. In one part of the game, right? Like we ran it really well, and that helped us, that helped it click a little bit. And then, but the pass game took obviously a little bit of a hit and wasn't quite clicking. And it's just coming back to work every day and ultimately, putting your head down and going to work and getting it, trying to work at it. I mean, these kids aren't going to quit. The coaches aren't going to quit. We're not going to just say, well, we haven't thrown the ball well, so let's just stop throwing it. I didn't do that Saturday as a play call. I trusted these kids to make throws and catches, and I'm going to continue to do so until that happens.
And speaking of 2 years ago, that loss at Georgia was an emotional loss. That turned into losses at Mississippi State and then here to Tennessee. So do you see anything? Do you look for anything in your guys to make sure that doesn't happen?
No, this is a different team.
Right.
It's a new team. We try not to go back to some of those experiences, and unless it's something you can learn from. And I think at the end of the day, I think we have the right guys in that locker room. I think we have the right coaches on the staff, on the offensive staff, obviously, to right the ship and get it right. And I think that we came out today. Our good on good period was pretty physical. You could tell the defense came out with the right mindset, mentality. We tried to match that as well. And I think that we're just got to get back on track. Just got to come back to work and see what happens.
This Missouri defense,
Yeah.
what do you see from them on film?
I mean, they're salty. They're well coached. They're very well coached. They'll pressure you. They'll play some three. They're not afraid to get up in your grill and play man coverage. I think they rush the passer pretty well. They create some confusion at the second level. Their linebackers can run. Their safety, I remember number 1, the safety that's been playing, for a couple of years now. They're smart. You can tell them in their third down package is pretty annoying. And they just do some good things. They're just a good, solid defense that, it's a huge test for us. Obviously coming off struggling on our side of the ball to score points and move the football, for us to come back with the right mentality and come out and execute at a high level.
Coaches talk sometimes about 24-hour rule, and you win or lose, you got to flush it after 24 hours. Is it easier to get over a game like that than, say, a last-second loss, or are all losses about the same?
I think they're all probably about the same. I mean, this one, it's sitting in here. I think it's sitting in here for a lot of these guys, and we watched it as an offensive unit yesterday, and had a good ownership meeting about how the players were the ones more so doing the talking, and coaching themselves, coaching each other, talking to each other, which was good to see. sometimes things like that help bring you together a little bit and hold everybody accountable. But yeah, it's sitting in here, and it usually doesn't go away till you play the next game.
Liam, how is Josh Gaddis? We saw him go to him in the red zone.
Yeah.
Again. How is he emerging as a target, particularly in those situations?
Yeah, Josh he comes out here every single day, doesn't say a word, works, details his work, competes his tail off. He's a guy that, you love to coach, you love to be around. There's not many negatives I can say about the kid, really. He's a great teammate, great student, just type of kid that he shows up and does all the right things. And he makes plays when his number's called. And at the end of the day, those are the guys that need to continue to get the football and also play for us.
You just talk about overall thoughts after watching the film from Georgia.
You can't have those penalties early on really kill you when you're on the road in that environment playing the number one team in the country. You're in two scoring positions and you end up going backwards, and those situations are hard to overcome no matter really who you're playing, but especially playing the number one overall team in the country. We did some good things, but we didn't execute on third down very well. We had some protection busts, we had some communication issues, and at the end of the day, we just kind of at times blew some gaskets a little where we did things that we haven't done, and that can happen in big situations, big games, and hopefully we can learn from it. Anything like that's hopefully a learning experience that you can move on from, so that when you are in that situation again, well, you can actually go back to that experience and say, hey, how can I make this better this time? So definitely wasn't perfect by any means, but hopefully we can learn from it.
Mark said that Dane really went about his business the right way, and it showed up on Saturday. So what exactly did that look like? What did you see?
Yeah, I thought the work week we had, really challenged him, or not so much challenged him, but worked with him on, route running. We had showed him, really go back to Georgia last year. We watched him. He didn't have, I think he had like a couple catches, but he really was running great routes, playing really well without the ball in his hands. And we just kind of really dove into him a little bit in terms of, hey, how can we get better, right? And that's all that it really comes down to. And I thought it showed up Saturday. I know he had 3 catches, had a couple more ops, but his route running, his detail, the way he was playing fast with the ball when he did get it. I was proud of Dane, for taking the right step forward in that direction.
Is that what Mark was talking about when right angles with receivers?
Yeah.
Is that really just what it comes down to?
Yeah, sharp. Just everything we do sharp. Sharp routes, detailed routes, just the way we run routes, not with our eyes down on the ground and eyes up. The work defenders. Using your eyes as a weapon. There's a lot that goes into route running. It's not just this and this, right? There's a lot that goes into it, and so we're trying to master that, and that's what we're getting to.
Sorry about that. Mark talked about some footwork or mechanical things with Devin a little bit yesterday. What are you seeing there, and also how do you instill some confidence in him when he is slumping and making sure there's not also a mental side? Yeah,
I think the kid's pretty mentally tough. He's gone through a lot, to be throwing the ball and to be playing right now, and I think it's just sticking with him, and working through it. It's not perfect right now. It's not what any of us planned or hoped for. But at the end of the day, we got to get through it. We got to be there for him to be able to get through it. And there's some things when the Bullets, were flying on Saturday that, things are happening in the pocket. And, just at the end of the day, he just needs to go out and play his game and be confident, be Devin Leary, because Devin Leary that I know is a confident dude that comes out and can sling the thing. And we need to get that guy going, and I think he will.
Jim, I know that Varian's been dealing with injuries, but how is he doing mentally in his second year when he's got a lot of attention coming back in August?
Yeah, I think he's been great, honestly. He typically comes out here with a big smile on his face and, wants to work. I saw a kid today, out here just trying to get better, working at his craft, being a good teammate, being a good kid to coach. That's just who he is. I love being around Barryon, and it's at the end of the day, you know, he battled through it, and you know, gave us some reps, and hopefully we can get him back going. And I'm proud of him for competing through it. I love the kid.
Okay, folks, thank you very much.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it, guys.